Good afternoon, fifth grade teachers. My name is Lois Burke, and I'm hoping to help you learn how to create an assignment in Power Teacher Pro today. So if you will log into Powerschool, um, I do not teach this many courses, thankfully. I just am on these so that I can do exactly what I'm doing now, which is show you how to do things. So, once you log into your Powerschool, underneath your course, you will see a little link to Power Teacher Pro. Okay, I'm going to go down here to this one and I'm going to click on Power Teacher Pro. And Power Teacher Pro is your gradebook. So once you link onto Power Teacher Pro, from here you should be able to create your assignments, enter your grades, do all of those things. Okay. So to enter your first assignment, you're going to come up to the top, and right next to the course name, you'll see a little plus button. You're going to click that plus button and come down to assignment. Okay, and that will open up a window where you can describe your assignment. Now, if you have more than one class of the same thing, and you would like to have this assignment in all of those, you can come up to this first tab. If you click here, you can select which classes you want it in. If you want it in all of them, you can click the big button and it'll put it on all of them. Okay. If you have just two that are the same, for example, then you could put it in those two. So you can actually create an assignment for multiple classes all at one time. Right? So I'm okay. I'm just going to leave mine here with this and go from there. Okay. Here I'm going to type the name of my assignment, and I'm just calling it New Test Assignment. Right? Then I'm going to choose the category. Now we only have two categories that we're using, and it's these two down here at the bottom, the standards focus and the practice assignments. I'm going to make this a standard focused assignment. Okay. I'm going to make the due date. Let's make the due date. I'll make the due date on Friday. Okay. And then I'm going to enter points, and you can change the score entry points if you want. If you're using SVG and using a 5-point rubric, then I would suggest that you keep these in increments of 5, just because it makes it easier to enter that grade. So I'm actually going to change mine to 5. Okay. Right. And I am going to count this in the traditional grade, and I'm going to save and close. Okay. And you'll see it popped up right here. Okay. Now, if I want to put my grades into that one, okay, you can hit the score assignment that popped up here, or you can just click on the assignment itself and it'll pull it up. And then you can go through and you can enter your grades for 3.5, 4.5, etc. And it will totally like round it and all for you. Okay. So once we get them all entered, so maybe there's a no evidence here. Okay. No evidence, remember, translates to 0. We can do a 2. We can do a 5, a 4.8, whatever you want to do in there. Okay. If you are doing an initial assignment and you say, oh gosh, I think everybody's going to get a perfect score on that one, you can also fill down. So if you're sitting on the 5, okay, you can actually click the fill down button over here, and anybody that doesn't have a score will put in a 5. Okay. If you had scores already in there, you can delete them and choose the fill down again. And again, everybody will fill in with a 5. Okay. Once you save those scores, you can pop over to the score sheet. So click on grading and go to score sheet, and you'll be able to see those grades along with the students' averages. Okay. All right, and then you just continue to create assignments. So if you want to create a second assignment, you can create a second one. We'll leave it the same class, and we'll call it practice 1. And we're going to select practice assignments. And let's make that due tomorrow. Right. Now with practice assignments, you can kind of do whatever you feel like you need to do. Again, if you're using a 5-point rubric, you could do a 5 or 10 or whatever here. If it's a worksheet, you can do whatever. If you are not counting those for a grade, so in other words, if you've been told by your PLC or your content coordinator that everything needs to be a standards-based grade, then you can still enter practice assignments. You just need to unclick this button so that it will not count. It'll still appear, but it won't change the child's grade. Okay. If you want it to change the grade, it will, you can click this and turn it back on, and it will be 20% of the student's grade. But again, keep in mind that you need to think about your, talk to your PLC and your content coordinator about that. Right. So hopefully that is good to get you started. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. My name is Lois Burke. My home is typically CHS, but I also am over at the CNI Commons at Walker. But you can find me in the chat or on email. Thanks so much. Good luck.